In the contemporary digital landscape, the management of information from a U.S. perspective presents a multifaceted challenge, encompassing a broad spectrum of activities from data sharing and transfers to the development of privacy programs and beyond. This essay delves into these challenges, providing a comprehensive overview of the U.S. privacy environment and the strategic approaches adopted by businesses and organizations to navigate this complex terrain. Through an exploration of data management, privacy program development, incident response, workforce training, accountability measures, and international data transfer mechanisms, this video paints a detailed picture of the contemporary U.S. privacy landscape and its implications for global multinational companies. Data sharing and transfers. Data inventory. The foundation of any robust information management program lies in the creation of a detailed data inventory. This process involves identifying and cataloging all data assets within an organization, enabling a clear understanding of what data is held, its origin, and how it is used. This foundational step is critical for risk management, compliance, and operational efficiency. Data classification. Following the creation of a data inventory, data classification categorizes data based on sensitivity and regulatory requirements. This classification is vital for determining the level of protection each data type requires, guiding data handling practices, and ensuring compliance with privacy laws and regulations. Data flow mapping. Data flow mapping extends the data inventory and classification processes by visually documenting how data moves through an organization. This mapping highlights potential vulnerabilities, compliance gaps, and opportunities for data minimization, playing a crucial role in privacy impact assessments and strategic planning. Privacy program development. Developing a comprehensive privacy program is essential for managing privacy risks and ensuring compliance with evolving regulations. This involves establishing policies, procedures, and governance structures that align with legal requirements and best practices. A privacy program serves as a blueprint for how an organization collects, uses, stores, and disposes of personal information. Managing user preferences. Respecting and managing user preferences is a key component of privacy compliance and customer trust. This includes mechanisms for consent management, opt-ins and opt-outs, and handling of data access requests. Effective management of user preferences not only complies with legal requirements but also enhances customer satisfaction and loyalty. Incident response programs. Cyber threats, e.g., ransomware. Incident response programs are critical for preparing for, responding to, and recovering from cyber threats such as ransomware attacks. These programs encompass detection, analysis, containment, eradication, and recovery strategies, along with communication plans to notify affected individuals and regulators when necessary. Workforce training. Educating the workforce on privacy principles, policies, and procedures is essential for mitigating risks and fostering a culture of privacy within an organization. Training programs should be regular, comprehensive, and tailored to the specific roles and responsibilities of employees. Accountability. Accountability in privacy management involves establishing clear responsibilities, monitoring compliance, and demonstrating adherence to privacy principles and legal requirements. This includes regular audits, assessments, and reporting mechanisms to ensure continuous improvement and compliance. Data and Records Retention and Disposal, FACTA. The Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, FACTA, highlights the importance of proper data and records retention and disposal practices. Organizations must establish policies for the timely and secure disposal of unnecessary or outdated personal information to prevent unauthorized access and identity theft. Online privacy. Privacy notices. Privacy notices are a fundamental element of online privacy, providing transparency about how organizations collect, use, and share personal information. These notices must be clear, concise, and accessible to users, complying with legal requirements and best practices for transparency. Vendor management. Vendor incidents. Managing the privacy and security risks associated with vendors is a critical aspect of information management. This includes due diligence in vendor selection, contractual protections, and response plans for potential vendor incidents. Cloud issues. Cloud computing presents unique challenges and opportunities in privacy management. Organizations must navigate issues related to data sovereignty, access controls, and shared responsibility models to ensure the privacy and security of data processed in the cloud. Third-party data sharing. Managing risks associated with third-party data sharing involves establishing strict contractual agreements, conducting regular audits, and ensuring that third parties adhere to equivalent privacy and security standards. J. International data transfers. I. U.S. Safe Harbor, Privacy Shield, and the EU-U.S. Data Privacy Framework. The evolution of frameworks governing EU-U.S. data transfers, from the Safe Harbor to the Privacy Shield and the EU-U.S. Data Privacy Framework, reflects ongoing efforts to ensure adequate protection for personal data transferred across borders. Each framework has aimed to address concerns related to privacy rights and data protection standards. E. Binding Corporate Rules, BCRs. BCRs offer a mechanism for multinational companies to facilitate international data transfers within their organization, ensuring compliance with EU data protection standards. They represent a commitment to a high level of data protection across global operations. E. Standard Contractual Clauses, SCCs. SCCs are legal tools used to transfer personal data from the EU to third countries, providing contractual guarantees around the protection of personal data. They are a flexible and widely used mechanism for ensuring compliance with EU data protection requirements. IV. Other approved transfer mechanisms. In addition to BCRs and SCCs, other mechanisms such as certification under approved frameworks or codes of conduct can facilitate international data transfers while ensuring compliance with privacy laws. Versus Schrems decisions, implications of. The Schrems decisions have significantly impacted international data transfer mechanisms, challenging the adequacy of the Privacy Shield and emphasizing the importance of robust protections for personal data transferred outside the EU. Other key considerations for US-based global multinational companies. I. GDPR requirements. The General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, sets a high standard for data protection and affects US-based companies processing the data of individuals in the EU. Compliance requires a comprehensive approach to data protection, including rights for individuals, data protection impact assessments, and strict data processing principles. E. APEC Privacy Framework. The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC, Privacy Framework provides guidelines for ensuring privacy and data protection across the Asia-Pacific region. US-based companies operating in this area must navigate these principles alongside other regional and national regulations. L. Resolving multinational compliance conflicts. I. EU data protection versus e-discovery. Reconciling EU data protection requirements with US legal obligations for e-discovery presents a challenge for multinational companies. Balancing the need for data access in legal proceedings with the protection of personal data requires careful negotiation and adherence to legal frameworks that facilitate such transfers. Conclusion. Navigating the U.S. privacy environment requires a sophisticated understanding of both domestic and international data protection landscapes. As digital technologies continue to evolve, so too do the challenges and opportunities for privacy management. By adopting comprehensive privacy programs, fostering a culture of accountability, and remaining vigilant in the face of cyber threats and regulatory changes, organizations can not only comply with legal requirements but also build trust with customers and stakeholders. The intersection of legal compliance, technological innovation, and ethical considerations in the management of information underscores the importance of a proactive and strategic approach to privacy in the digital age. In the contemporary digital landscape, the management of information from a U.S. perspective presents a multifaceted challenge, encompassing a broad spectrum of activities from data sharing and transfers to the development of privacy programs and beyond. This essay delves into in the contemporary digital landscape, the management of information from a U.S. perspective presents a multifaceted challenge, encompassing a broad spectrum of activities from data sharing and transfers to the development of privacy programs.